Morning, everyone. Welcome to the Bucks County Community College Board of Trustees meeting on February 12th, 2026, here at the Newtown campus. Let me just identify those who will lead us in the pledge in just a few minutes. We have a team, actually, and Matt, thank you for your recruiting efforts for us. But among them, I want to mention, let's see, the season will end next week, but there's one last home game against Mercer County Community College on Thursday, the 19th at 7 p.m. And among our guests, we have Noah Morris. Noah has played basketball at Bucks for 2 seasons and is a business administration major. He will attend Westchester University after his time here at Bucks. Anthony Washington Jr. has played basketball here for 1 season and is a criminal justice major. He also plans to transfer to a 4-year college after graduation. Nick Bianco has played basketball for Bucks for 3 seasons and is a psychology major. He plans to attend Life University in Marietta, Georgia, in their Doctor of Chiropractic program. After completing 14 quarters here, he will graduate as a licensed practicing chiropractor. Morris Ivory has played basketball here for 1 season and is a business administration major. After Bucks, he plans to attend a 4-year university and earn a bachelor's degree in business and marketing. He's interested in attending Holy Family or Temple. And Idris Muhammad has played basketball at Bucks for 1 season and is a sports management major. After his time at Bucks, he plans to play basketball at a 4-year college and earn his bachelor's degree. So if the team would approach the flag, we'll have the pledge and then we'll hear from each of them. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Thank you. Feel free to say a word or two about your experience here. We'd love to hear.
I'm Noah Morris, sophomore here, business administration major. I've had a great experience, and I want to thank you on behalf of the basketball team for providing us with the opportunity to chase our dreams and play college basketball.
Thank you.
My name is Anthony Washington, sophomore, criminal justice major, and I would like to thank you all for giving me the opportunity to play a collegiate basketball career and also have an academic sport.
Thank you, Anthony.
My name is Nico Bianco, and I just want to thank everyone for helping me, guide me, and give me confidence for the career path that I choose.
My name is Idris Muhammad. I'm a sports management major, and I would like to thank you all for having me and the rest of the basketball team here, as this experience here at Bucks has been nothing but amazing.
My name is Morris Ivory. I'm a business administration major. I just want to thank you guys for giving us the opportunity to play basketball and doing what we love. I think Bucks is a great place for development.
Thank you all very much. I think it goes without saying that these 5 gentlemen, they make what we do here worthwhile. Thank you for being with us. And you're welcome to stay for the meeting. No obligation to do so.
Yeah.
Oh. We're gonna open a. I want to get. There's an entrepreneur.
Tom, can I just say one thing?
Say one thing.
That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you want to take the roll, please?
Rick Lucas,
President.
Jim Dancy,
Present.
Brooke Davis,
I see him.
Blake Eisenberg, Jamie Fazelor. Present. Ronnie Hughes. Here. Sean Suda.
Here.
Tom Jennings.
Here.
Adrian King. Here. Vince Magyar.
Present.
Carol Mannion Ferguson. Here. John Murray.
Here.
Ed Copmakian.
Present.
Bill Worcester.
Here.
Patrick Jones.
Here.
Michael Clark.
Here.
Mr. Clark, executive session.
The board held an executive session prior to the start of this meeting to discuss personnel matters, potential litigation, and to consult with one of their professionals regarding the audit. And on that matter, no votes were taken and no deliberations occurred.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the December 18th, 2025 meeting? Second. Second. Any comments or questions? December 18th minutes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Is there a motion for the approval of the minutes of January 22nd, 2026 special meeting? Second.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there any public comment today? Anyone here or online for public comment? Seeing none. I wanted to mention at the recent board retreat, two strong themes emerged in my view. The absolute need for a duty of loyalty and confidentiality toward the institution, the board itself and the college generally, as well as the vital role that committees play. And we've got great committees going, and we'll hear from them this morning. And let me start by thanking the Finance Committee for working with the CFO on many issues, including the audit filing and the follow-up, which is in progress. And there'll be more to hear about that in the finance report. I want to thank the Governance Committee for addressing several retreat issues, for preparing a public comment policy draft for our consideration today, for starting the formal trustee orientation program, a way of redoing that, for new appointees to the board. I want to congratulate and thank Vince Magyar for volunteering, so to speak. He didn't say no, that means, in assisting with the bylaw revisions of the college authority. As the college authority discovered, much like we did, it was decades before, or decades had passed, and it was time for an overhaul of their own bylaws. Thanks to the Student Success Committee, a really powerful and good committee. And I thank Jerry O'Sullivan for at long last finding good data for us to look at and consider, and all in support of what we purport to do here, which is to achieve student success. And then I wanted to congratulate and thank those who prepared the Martin Luther King Awards program a couple of weeks ago, those who organized that, as well as note, the first in a series of America 250 programs was held here recently, both events attended by more than a few trustees, which is always a good thing to see. And again, I think as you'll hear from the president and we get through the various reports, that things are moving along pretty well. In a world of uncertainty, I think we've been pretty steady. Dr. Jones?
Thank you, Chair Jennings. Good morning and welcome to trustees and members of the community. It is a great pleasure to introduce a new member of our leadership team. Joining us today for the first time is our new Executive Director of Security and Safety, Mark Goldberg. I'll tell you a bit about Mark. Chief Goldberg, though he doesn't have that title here, but to me, he was police chief for many years, so he's chief to me. Chief Goldberg started with us on January 12th. He was the Warwick Township's chief of police for 15 years, served on that force for 38 years, a founding member and operator of Central Bucks SWAT. chaired and served on committees, including the Regional SWAT Team Executive Board, the Bucks County Communications Committee, was a liaison between the Bucks County Police Chiefs Association and the Bucks County NAACP. Also, he was the Warwick Township Emergency Management Coordinator. He's also a volunteer firefighter for both Upper Moreland and the Hartsville Fire Departments for many years. Since 2022, he's been an adjunct professor at Temple University's Municipal Police Academy. His degrees: he has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Holy Family University, a master's in public safety administration from St. Joseph's University, and a Juris Doctor from the Beasley School of Law at Temple University. He is also a graduate of a very prestigious program. Those of you familiar with the Military Command and Staff College approach to things, Northwestern University is the home of the School of Police Staff and Command. He is a graduate of that program. So please join me in welcoming to our team a terrific leader. We're so excited to have him join us, Chief Mark Goldberg. Chair Jennings already mentioned a couple of recent events, our Martin Luther King Awards, 5th annual awards, great attendance, an opportunity for the college to shine the light on some terrific leaders in our community making a difference. That was a wonderful event. And the first of our America 250 series, which was Why Civics Now? And it was a side-by-side conversation, former Governor Mark Schweiker and State Representative Tim Brennan. Trustees, at your places is a card. We're modern. The list of events is on the web. So QR code, take a picture of that. And you can see there's a bunch of really interesting events coming up. As always, we have multiple art shows happening. So this Friday, the Show Some Heart opening reception will be at the Lower Bucks campus, the Epstein campus, from 6 to 8 p.m. So that show opens in Lower Bucks. We do things such as bringing guidance counselors to the college to visit with us and to learn about us. So we have an upcoming guidance counselor breakfast at the Newtown campus on February 27th. There'll be a similar breakfast at the Upper Bucks campus. The Spring Showcase art opening at the Upper Bucks campus is on February 27th, from 6 to 8. You might remember that our floral students went to the Philadelphia Art Show last year for the first time and received an award. They are returning this year. That will be February 28th to March 8th. So they're going for the second year. And this year's theme, I haven't seen it yet, but you might remember our latest sculptural acquisition from the Stella Elkins Tyler was the Joan of Arc at Orleans that stood in our lobby. They are using her as a centerpiece of that display. So I'll be interested to see what they do with Joan of Arc. March 9th, you may know that over the years, Bill Pezza has had debates as part of the School of Social Behavioral Sciences, so kind of civics education for students. And there will be a congressional debate at noon at the Epstein campus at Lower Bucks on March 9th. I don't know who has confirmed attendance to that yet, but excited that the college plays a role in those events. And then some upcoming events, particularly it's Black History Month. On the 23rd of this month, there will be a Black History Month celebration with a lunch and music trivia. That's being organized by our Black Student Union. It's really important for you as trustees to know that the activities that happen on a college campus are faculty driven or they're student driven. And we're very excited when our students organize things. Also, if you're not familiar with the Gather Place Museum in Yardley, which is newly activated, it's activated for America 250, right? But our students have discount tickets we have received for them to go to numerous events at the Gather Place Museum in Yardley. This is very important to us that our students get out into the community, and they're from Bucks County, they're working, they have jobs, they're coming to school. There's so many things in our county that they could partake of. We want to make sure that they learn about them while they're students. On the 6th was a Frederick Douglass reenactment. They had discount tickets to that. The 14th, Underground Railroad, Bucks County and beyond. On the 21st, Rosa Parks, the Civil Rights Movement. And February 28th, Harriet Tubman, Her Life, Her Legacy, A Journey Through Time, a first-person reenactment. So we're really grateful for the opportunity that the Gather Place Museum has given us to have discounted tickets for our students. Enrollment. I'm very pleased to share with you some enrollment figures. We have the final numbers from the fall, and as a reminder, we have 3 different starts every semester. So it's really not until things are over that we know the exact count. So our fall 2025 enrollment exceeded our target of credits by 5.4%. Right, so our head count was up 0.2%, but digging into that, new student head count was up 5.8%, and dual enrollment was up 7.9% in the fall. The number of enrolled credits was up 2.8%, and our full-time equivalent, that's where you take the students part-time and how many would be full if you cobble together their credits, was up 2.8%. 23% of the increase in credits can be attributed to an increase in dual enrollment. I'll repeat that. 23% of the increase in credits was because of dual enrollment. And dual enrollment students comprised 9.9% of our fall enrollment. 5 years ago, dual enrollment students were 5.1% of our enrollment. So our strategy of enhancing dual enrollment is paying off. For spring 2026, as of February 9th, which is the start of the February module, right? So we had the opening of the semester, February module. There'll be a later module where more students will register. Enrolled credits as of February 9th are at 108.4% of our target for the semester. We've already surpassed our target. Head count up 3.6%. Of those, 22.2% we are up 22.2% in new students for the spring semester. And for dual enrollment, we are up 47.2%. That's over last year. So you say spring 26 compared to spring 25. Our enrolled credits up 3.5%. Our FTE up 3.5%. Approximately 47% of the increase in credits is due to dual enrollment students. The dual enrollment students comprise 10.2% of our student population for the spring semester. To give you a sense, across the Commonwealth, roughly 30% of students at community colleges are dual enrollment. So we have a target that we're heading toward. Non-credit workforce programs update. These programs that change lives and get people right into the workforce. We've surpassed 600 graduates this year from our industrial skills pre-apprenticeship programs. That's a cluster of programs. So in 2014, it started with the metalwork pre-apprenticeship program. In 2016, we added the industrial maintenance pre-apprenticeship. And in 2023, we added the building and construction trades pre-apprenticeships. Across those programs, we have a 94% graduation rate and a 90% placement rate into family-sustaining wage jobs. And up until now, they have all been tuition-free because we've been able to secure grants. And there needs to be a huge shout out to Sue Herring, who I see in the room here, who leads these programs, and Tracy Timpney, the vice president. They make this happen. Now that grant environment has become more challenging. So that's kind of reality check. Up until now, that's why that's worded that way. Up until now, we have not had to charge students for these programs. Getting grants is crucial. Currently, the metalwork and industrial maintenance programs are funded by the $2 million grant from the U.S. Department of Energy that Sue was able to secure last year. So we're still good on that. On February 2nd, we launched our first healthcare pre-apprenticeship program. So first time. So great experience and a track record with kind of building and construction trades and those things. First time we launched one for healthcare pre-apprenticeship, inaugural cohort of 13 students. On March 20th, we're going to launch our Amazon Web Services Information Infrastructure Pre-Apprenticeship Training Program with a cohort of 20 students. That is a program that essentially Amazon Web Services brings into us. We've talked about this before. It's a 4-week program, 20 students, they pay them for 30 hours a week. We are basically providing the site to collaborate with them on this. The training will focus on critical skills to build, connect, operate, and maintain data centers with career pathways in the building trades, including electrical, HVAC, plumbing, and fiber optics. And last we heard, just in Falls Township alone, there's going to be by July a demand for 1,600 electricians. Give a sense. So really terrific work happening all around the college. And I shared with you just a few things today on some of the events that are going on with the impact that we're seeing on our enrollment of our various efforts and difference that we're making in graduating students from our non-credit programs. With that, concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Jones. Any questions for Patrick?
How do you define new students?
How do we find new
To
students?
define. Definition.
A student who had not yet been a student here. So there are federal definitions, how you classify students. So first time, full time, those kinds of things. But a new student would be someone who has come to the college here who was not previously enrolled in a college program.
So
They're not returning. So a student who's already a student, they're in their first semester and they come back for another semester, those would be called a returning student. But a student who's starting with us for the first time is a new student.
what about the students who are coming directly from the high school?
If they did dual enrollment, are they considered new?
They would be considered a new student if they then matriculate as a college student as well.
Thank you. Chief Operating Officer Mike Harris.
Good morning, Chairman Jennings and members of the board. Since my last report to you at the board meeting of December 18th, we've undertaken and engaged in the following initiatives related to the environmental health and safety here at Bucks. First, we convened the expanded health and safety working group on January 9th, and our next scheduled meeting is tomorrow morning at February 13th. Always fun to have a risk management meeting on Friday the 13th. This and Dr. Blanco and myself are the co-chairs of this group. It's a group of 20 Bucks stakeholders, which includes faculty, staff, and administrators. And we will meet with our environmental health and safety consultant, as well as our representative from MIMIC, our workers' comp firm, to address overall risk management and building safety issues and promote a culture of safety here on our campus. We continue to meet with faculty and staff members to listen, discuss, investigate, and conduct on-site investigations and assessments of reported concerns. We have completed or are underway with planned remediation and improvement projects in the boiler house, shipping and receiving, the CAT building, and the intermediate unit building, among others. We've undertaken the air handling systems assessments of Founders Hall with an outside contractor, and we're moving on next to the library in this initiative. We're in the process of finalizing and launching a new web-based investigative tool on our EHS webpage to make reporting more robust and information more transparent. And as always, we have the email ehs@bucks.edu for anyone in the community to have the opportunity and pathway to report their concerns to us. We'll continue to pursue and implement these safety initiatives for the entire community. Thank you.
Thank you. And if I could ask, Mike, at one of our next meetings, when it's ready, that tool, if you could have that ready for a presentation to the board to see how easy it would be for a user to get information on in any number of files.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Has a questions for Mike? Okay. Committee reports, Finance Committee, Ed Tuckmajian.
Sure. Chair Jennings. Morning, trustees, and faculty, guests. Unrelated to finance activities, the first thing I wanted to report is it's hot outside.
Amen.
The finance committee met last week and we had a very productive session. I'm pleased to report that all FYI 25 audits and required filings have been completed, including the financial statement audit, the single audit, and the agreed upon procedures report. The consent agenda items in your board book today were thoroughly vetted by the finance committee. I'd like to just, as much as they are all aligned with the strategic focus on operational efficiency, just to name a few. The college is realizing meaningful cost savings from the new phone system you'll see in your pack today, and the implementation of an integrated security platform that will consolidate 3 outdated systems into one standardized system across campus, improving both efficiency and oversight. Our SEPTA advertising campaign continues to positively impact enrollment, reinforcing the value of that investment. I also want to recognize the administrative team for negotiating additional promotional opportunities within that same existing rate structure. Regarding the material weakness identified in year-end audit, Niels provided a comprehensive review and presented a detailed corrective action plan. The Finance Committee has reviewed that plan, and we expect to receive further updates to the progress of that plan during our March Finance Committee meeting. As noted in materials, we've also engaged Sherry Becker to conduct an independent assessment of our finance operations and internal controls. The recommendations expected within 60 to 90 days will also be reviewed by the finance committee as well as Dr. Gaines. Lastly, our cash position remains strong and ahead of January 2025 levels, reflecting solid cash flow management. The FY 2026 mid-year review is trending stronger than budgeted, partly due to our improved enrollment numbers, or better than anticipated, I should say. And we've also begun developing the FYI 2027 budget too as well. We're also updating a long-term financial projection that Nielsen shared with me through FYI 2031 to proactively plan for anticipated contractual and operational cost pressures, and to ensure that the college remains strategically positioned and financially sound. And with that, that's what I have to report today. I'll turn it over to Niels to see if he had anything else to add.
I think you covered it. Thanks, Ed.
Okay.
Thank you. Governance Committee, Jamie Fazlor.
Thank you, Mr. Jennings. We also met last week. The governance committee recommends the public comment policy and was advised by our solicitor. It's consistent to the county's policy, and it is superseded by state law, so there's that. And also questions were raised concerning discipline of the board. We will refer to the parliamentary procedure. Do you have any problems with that? And then we also are starting to compile a new board member orientation. So you're not going to just get a view of the gardens and the bylaws. You're going to get a lot more than that. So that's about it.
Thank you. And you'll see, trustees, on the agenda, under consent agenda, we do have the public comment policy that's been in the packets. Previously, or to anyone's recollection, there never was one for this body. And so now we'll have one and take that vote up shortly. For Student Success Committee, Ronnie Fuchs.
Yeah, thank you. So, so we met as a committee last Thursday and are continuing our discussion under Jerry O'Sullivan's guidance on DFW rates. We had some information presented about compliance with SARA, which is an interstate agreement under which we can offer courses and courses needing to be defined in a consistent way. And we had a discussion, the beginning of a discussion about developmental education, which is the term for I guess it's called pre-matriculation courses. I'm sorry? Pre-collegiate courses. So when students come in, if they're working towards a degree, they may need to take a developmental course that doesn't count towards their degree before they can enroll in the degree conferring courses. And we have a lot of students who need to take one or more developmental ed course before they can begin to take their courses towards their degree. And we are continuing to discuss that as a committee, because obviously it goes a little bit hand in hand with the DFW and the measures of student success and the ability of students to move on and actually succeed, which is what we want people to be able to do. So we're looking forward to further discussions about that. And I have nothing. Jerry, do you have anything else to report?
On the sabbaticals?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. So there are actually two issues. One is on the consent agenda, which is the board has had the policy on awarding degrees posthumously in our board book, and I think that can just be part of the consent agenda unless anybody pulls that out. And then the second, which does require a vote, is there's a list of faculty sabbaticals, which the committee recommends that the board approve, and we will need to take a vote on. Those sabbaticals are pursuant to contract. So the discussion for the board shouldn't include whether we like there being sabbaticals, whether there should be 8 instead of 7, or all of those issues are pursuant to contract. But the sabbaticals themselves were laid out, and Jerry provided the board with, in the board book with the full list of sabbaticals, and when they'll be taken. And Jerry, I don't know if you want to speak to any of those or anything about those.
Thank you, Ronnie. We have 5 half-year sabbatical applications, 2 full-year sabbatical applications. This year we are including objectives, deliverables, and a list of what we believe to be returns on investment for each of those faculty research leads. And if you have any questions about any of the projects, please feel free to ask.
Thank you, Ronnie and Jerry. We'll entertain a motion on the sabbaticals. As you mentioned, they come to the board for almost an acknowledgement that they've been through the system and are appropriate. And in the conversation, very good meeting of that committee last week. And part of the conversation, Trustee Belucas raised an issue of, can we make sure that we find out what actually happened? What was the work product? So I should put that on your tickler for 6 months out or so, whenever.
Right. Yeah.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second by Trustee Murray. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approved. On the consent agenda this morning, there are a number of items. Niels, do you want to speak to a couple of them? Give a couple of highlights?
Between Ed and Ronnie, we covered the majority of them. There are a couple related to safety and security. One is an upgrade and extension of some of our very outdated cameras, what have you, across campus. And then an integrated security system, just kind of expanding ID card access, that type of thing. And then we have an extension of the contract with Credly for digital badging and credentialing systems. So other than that, I think they were covered separately.
And in addition, we have the two at the end, which are not finance in nature. The public comment policy we just mentioned a moment ago, and a policy to award degrees posthumously. Does any trustee wish to have an item removed from the consent agenda? Being none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Any board comment this morning? Is there a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Land speed.
Sure.
I want to get to